My name is Doug Keister. I'm an author, writer, and photographer. I'm one of millions of people born in the wake of World War II. Along the way, someone noticed how many of us there were and saddled us with the name baby boomers. Many of you are probably sick of hearing about us, but don't worry, we'll all be gone soon, relegated to an asterisk in history's timeline. But before I make my own exit from this realm, I decided to write a tidy tome about what it was like growing up in the middle of the 20th century in a cookie-cutter wedge of land smack dab in the middle of America's heartland. I was also the middle child, with a younger and older brother. It was a life in the middle, a life in the middle of everything. Looking back, I realize I lived in a magical time. Our parents had struggled through a devastating depression and a gruesome war. They deserved a break and wanted to give us all the things they didn't have when they were growing up. They also wanted us to insulate us from the realities of life outside a protective bubble. All in all, they did a pretty good job. Sure, there were bad people and the specter of the A-bomb, but despite air raid drills, angry politicians railing against the Red Menace, and movies depicting ray guns and mutant aliens, we felt protected and safe. We rode our bicycles to school unadorned with helmets and never secured our bikes with locks. Who would steal a bike? That was against the law. When we weren't in school, our parents pointed towards the door, commanding us to go play. We were free-range children. No one thought of asking our parents to transport us to soccer practice. We'd never even heard of soccer. We'd build forts on vacant lots, dig holes for no reason, or maybe play tag, which required no equipment except our feet. If enough of us gathered together, someone would find a ragged ball and a splintered bat, and maybe a couple tattered gloves, and presto, we were playing sandlot baseball, making up the rules as we played. Despite not having a watch or cell phone, we always found our way home for lunch and dinner. Having a family of 3 rambunctious boys meant that our return home wasn't always met with the welcoming embrace of our mother. When things got too out of control, she'd park us in front of the television. The Philco Golden Grid with 3 channels in glorious black and white was our cathode ray window into the outside world. Inside that flickering, glowing box were cowboys, spacemen, mysterious creatures, puppets, assorted good and bad guys, and even a teacher or two. I was particularly fascinated by a man named Mr. Wizard. Every week, he'd invite a neighborhood kid into his home to conduct science experiments. He was sort of a Mr. Rogers for mad scientists. There were no safety glasses, no protective gloves, no earplugs, just Mr. Wizard and a kid lighting things on fire and blowing things up. What fun. I wanted to be Mr. Wizard. I still do. Heartland, growing up in the middle of everything, is a series of short stories. There was the weeks-long wait for Santa Claus, the dreaded birds and bees talk every father was required to give his son. I suppose mothers had the similar talk with their daughters. There were tales of forays to see relatives who lived on farms, a trip to California and Disneyland, the terror of visiting the dentist, rising through the ranks of scouting, and much, much more. Mostly, though, it's a remembrance of a special time in America, a time of magic, hope, and promise, and sadly, a time that will never happen again. Heartland is available in print and Kindle on Amazon. It costs less than a couple lattes and will last a whole lot longer. Thank you for watching.